Hey everybody, this is Becky Legiro for CoinGeek.com. I am here with Lorien Gamaroff of Centbee. We are in Abuja, Nigeria, at Digital Nigeria. And you delivered a fabulous speech earlier today.
Thank you.
Yeah, and you made an announcement, in fact. You have launched Centbee version number 4. Tell me why this was so exciting for you to announce here at the conference.
Yes, one of the most important things about Centbee is that before you are able to spend your Bitcoin, you have to get it. And one of the toughest jobs we have is to try and find partners in countries where we can accept payments from our users and then send BSV to their wallets. So this is a tough job, and being in Nigeria right at this very time, it was such a nice coincidence because we've now finally launched Centbee version 4, and part of what comes with Centbee version 4 is the ability in Nigeria to top up your wallet using a bank payment. It's very convenient and it works great. So I was very glad to be able to announce that.
Oh, I'm so pleased. That's a really cool announcement. Yeah, it's really cool. And I know that you specialize in African payments within Africa. I know you're coming from South Africa and all of this, but tell me why Nigeria in particular is a really interesting area to focus on and what the government initiatives are here when it comes to adoption of blockchain tech.
Yes, absolutely. I think Nigeria is a fascinating country because not only are there a lot of people here, also a lot of people who are interested in blockchain and cryptocurrencies and that sort of thing. But the government itself is actually trying to push education in this space. What they have is official policies around blockchain to actually educate young people, entrepreneurs around blockchain, so that they can be on the forefront of this new blockchain revolution. So not only do we have a lot of users here who like to use Bitcoin as a payment system, and specifically BSV on Centbee, but also that the government itself is very friendly to this notion of a regulatory compliant blockchain and a payment app like Centbee that is following all the right rules around payments, specifically about know your customer, and doing all the right sorts of things when it comes to doing analysis, so you can protect against money laundering. And Centbee really does fulfill all those criteria that makes Bitcoin SV a useful cash system, something that is regulatory compliant, it's low cost, and really fun to use for Nigerians.
Wonderful. And you're mentioning BSV blockchain quite a bit here, but during your presentation, you were talking about general education of blockchain, how complex this can be, a lot of false information out there. Can you give us some of the tips that you shared with the audience on the best way to learn about blockchain tech and in particular BSV?
Yes, well, the first thing that you have to watch out for is the social media influencer. And I think people, when they're hungry for this information and they're looking for this information, they're trying to find sources that they can get reliable information because it's such a complicated space. You know, there are many blockchains, many cryptocurrencies, many advocates pushing different agendas and different ideas around what blockchain is meant to be. And so when it comes to finding information, of course, the easiest thing to do is to go onto social media, find those accounts that have hundreds of thousands of followers or millions of followers. And then, of course, what you do is you make the assumption that, well, since those videos are getting a lot of likes and there's so many followers, then that must be a reliable source of information. But at the end of the day, unfortunately, and this is what happened really early on in Bitcoin's life, is that there were people who weren't interested in Satoshi's vision, the idea of a regulatory-friendly digital cash system. They wanted to create a system that was ungovernable and was anonymous. And they thought that the technology that Satoshi Nakamoto created would enable that sort of system, something that's uncontrollable. Yeah. And of course, it's the timing, coming out of the 2008 financial crisis, everybody thought that Satoshi Nakamoto was trying to create a system that was to protect against that. But that was just a coincidence. And so the whole idea, the whole narrative around Bitcoin just changed. Yeah. And it became about this ungovernable system that is too big to stop. Now, what we have always done is we've stuck very closely to this idea of what Satoshi created, which is a payment system that can be regulated. Because without that capability, without that careful and considered design approach to Bitcoin, where identities can be linked to transactions, and of course you can trace payments, then no government in the world is ever going to allow a system like this to exist, let alone businesses like Centbee to provide apps and services to our customers. So what we have to be really careful about is thinking that you can go and create a system that you don't have to worry about regulatory oversight and you can go and skirt around the laws. That is a dead end, clearly. And so if you can go and look at the idea of Bitcoin as something that complies with all local rules and regulations around payments, then you can really have a lot of success, because then you won't have the issues where trying to get a license perhaps, or trying to find partners that you can work with, because of course you always need partners. If you can demonstrate responsibility and accountability, then it's much easier for your business to grow and for you to find those partners that can help you spread all the things that you're trying to do.
Amazing. And the BSV Academy is a wonderful resource. I know you mentioned that little shout out during your presentation.
Absolutely. It's a great resource. I think the guys at the BSV Academy are doing a fantastic job. Their content is simple and easy to use. And it's, I think, a great resource. If you really want to try and cut through all the noise around blockchain and you want to really get to the core of it and the truth of it, I think the BSV Academy is doing a fantastic job. So check out the website.
Brilliant. And I know that you left off your presentation with a nice message to governments, in particular in Africa, about why they really should have their eyes on blockchain and how it's going to help them. Can you just repeat the message here for our audience that you
Absolutely. I think what governments have been doing and regulators have been doing is they've been looking at blockchain as something that they need to now try and regulate. Now, of course, that is a component of it, but they are then missing the value behind it that it can bring to regulators. Governments can benefit from adopting a BSV blockchain themselves. There are so many things around BSV blockchain that can make government systems more efficient, tax collecting more effective and efficient as well. And so if governments stop thinking about just how to control this thing, and they start looking at how they can make use of the opportunity, then I think what we'll see is a lot more positive development in the space, and everyone is going to win.
Yes, everyone is going to win. Love that message. Thank you so much. So great to see you here. Enjoy your time in Abuja.
Thank you too.
I am here with Apollo from BitLipa, and I'm super excited to see you here. We loved seeing you on stage talking about the innovation and excitement happening here in Nigeria with digital tech. So tell me about your company and what you are doing.
My name is Apollo Eric, founder and CEO for BitLipa. We are a digital payment and settlement layer for businesses. So we help businesses process and we also settle their payments in Africa. The goal is to promote cross-border payment within Africa. Currently valued around 300 billion, but operating at a capacity of 16%. So we are building the rails through which finance can move between businesses and easing the flow of money between businesses. Yes.
Very good. And can you tell me in which ways you take advantage of blockchain technology?
Blockchain technology is what we really use for our settlement layer, because right now, if you're a business in Africa, you're trying to import something from the US, China, India, or even UAE, you go to the bank and just can't find enough dollars. How are we solving that? We will collect the local currency, use our back engine, which has an exchange, convert it into digital currency, stable coins for that matter, and you're able to settle your payment instantly at a much, much lower cost, rather than going through the formal banking process, which is rigorous. The questions they ask you just discouraging, and it takes 3 to 4 days. When you're able to do it within seconds or minutes, you're able to make your payments.
I love that. Very nice. And when you're talking about stable coins, is this something that the actual user of your platform is going to be dealing with, or is it going on behind the scenes? Where do the stable coins actually fall in the process?
Actually use stablecoins at the moment as we speak. It's not like a future plan that we have. We've already implemented USDC, USDT for settlement. So for instance, a client would come into Africa because they are a global player. They will be able to collect fiat in mobile money and be able to make settlement in stablecoin in the background, which happens instantly all the time. So this is something that we're already doing right now, not future plan.
Beautiful. The future's now. That's that's one of the slogans here at the Digital Nigeria 2023. So tell me about the Nigerian market in particular, because we're here now. A lot of excitement here surrounding blockchain tech and payments. What is your feeling here on the conference floor?
I feel like there's a lot of opportunity. There's a lot of meaningful ideas coming out of exchange and networking from people that are meeting. But most importantly is the fact that people from the government and even private sector do recognize the need for technology as an enabling infrastructure to make businesses and even individuals scale up, whatever they're doing. Whether you are creative in the music, film industry, or you're actually a creative who is actually developing tech, there's an opportunity for almost everyone. And that's very, very exciting because, as you say, blockchain technology is the only technology, in my opinion, that is currently levelizing the playing ground. Even if you're having corruption here and there, we're able to weed all that out because of the transparent nature of the technology. And I think that we're just getting started in terms of building our economy and bringing more and more people into the digital space because blockchain is emerging as a force to reckon with in terms of transforming Africa and reimagining it as a very, very big digital economy, I would say. We have a lot of young people who are educated, they're excited about exploring the opportunities, and they're not afraid to make mistakes here and there and get it right at the end of it. And I think that's really the basis for which we can build a new economy. Yeah.
I love that, Apollo. And how did you get excited and involved with blockchain in the first place?
I studied medical biotechnology in school, and after graduating, I just couldn't find a job. So I taught myself how to code, how to do networks. And being involved in technology, one thing led to the other, and before you know it, Bitcoin, crypto was flashing everywhere. Because I had this background in technology, I was able to do my research, and it made so much sense. So I got in, and I never looked back. So it's been a journey of trying to find out the knowledge I have, the experience I have, and the networks I have. How can I use that to build something meaningful that helps the community and our society in general? And I don't think there's going back, just going forward from here.
Amazing. Apollo, it's been such a pleasure to meet you here in Abuja, and thank you so much and continue the great work that you're doing.
Oh, we will. Thank you so much for having me, and I really look forward to meeting you again. Yeah.
Amazing. And thank you guys so much for watching. It's Becky Legiro for CoinGeek.com.